Hey everybody, it's Lynnea, and I have a special video for you today. ThermOWeb and LDRS Creative are collaborating, and today we are having a big Instagram hop. So I will link to my Instagram account below, so be sure to go over there for photos of this card and also to participate in the hop and see lots of inspiration. So let's get started. I'm going to be creating a neon Christmas card today. I'm starting with the LDRS Creative Peppermint Stick Stencil, and I'm spraying the back of it with Pixie Spray. Now normally I just kind of go horizontally, but I am being sure this time to go diagonally to get my Pixie Spray onto all of those little stripes. I want to make sure that they're not going to move while I'm doing my stenciling. So I'm going ahead and pressing onto each one of those little horizontal peppermint stripes, and then I'm also grabbing my stencil pal and using that for even pressure to just make sure the stencil is adhered with that Pixie Spray. I have Poppin' Pink Glitz Glitter Gel, and I am scooping out way too much. But with Glitz Glitter Gel, especially with the neons, I like to add a thick layer so that it is dimensional and very opaque. So I am stenciling on using my stencil pal more than I need. And I'm just going to scrape off all that excess from my stencil pal and put it back into the jar. Now I can easily remove this peppermint stick stencil, and look at that. You can see how much dimension there is and how much sparkle there is. Now I still have quite a bit of this Poppin' Pink Glitz Glitter Gel on my work surface as well as on the stencil. So I'm just going to use my stencil pal and just clean that up and put that right back in the jar. And I'll set this background aside to dry for about 30 minutes. I'm using two stamp sets from LDRS Creative. I have the Snow Much Fun stamp set as well as the 34th Street stamp set. And I know that I want to use this little fox, and I also know that I want to use this scalloped circle from the Scalloped Circle Frames die set. And what I want to have is this little fox kind of knocking on the front door of one of the houses and have that fit inside of that scalloped circle. So I'm choosing my house image based on the layout that I have in my head. And I ended up choosing this cute little house. All of the houses in the 34th Street stamp set are absolutely adorable. And you're going to see when I pull out the coordinating dies that the die set makes this an interactive house. The windows and the door are going to open, which is super fun. I'm going to quickly color this house with Copic markers. I'm using RV13 and RV14 for the roof and for the door. I thought this kind of hot pink color blend would go well with the Poppin' Pink Peppermint Stick stenciled background. Now I'm also using some G14 and G17 because I'm going to bring in a little bit of green in the background as well. I wanted to kind of play off the traditional red and green and have a pink and green card instead. So I used some purple tape to hold down the coordinating Snow Much Fun dies and the 34th Street dies. Ran that through my die cutting machine, and here you can see those little windows and the door opens up, which is super cute and fun. For the scalloped circle element on my card, I'm going to be using some Deco Foil foam adhesive sheets as well as some I'm using Screamin' Green enamel transfer sheets. It's been a long time since I used these enamel transfer sheets, and I saw them in my stash, and I remembered how much I loved this hard kind of gumball candy coating look. So I'm removing one side of those foam adhesive sheets, and I'm transferring that Screamin' Green enamel transfer sheet onto it. You want to make sure that you are putting the dull side of the enamel against the adhesive. You want that hard, shiny coating to be on the outside. Now this is double-sided foam adhesive, so you can use that to your advantage if you want. I am somebody who, when I'm making a card, I move my elements around quite a bit. So I am just going to add some cardstock, some just inexpensive cardstock to the back here, and then I'll use another form of adhesive to adhere this onto my card. But here you go, look at that. See how it kind of looks like a gumball or like a hard candy coating? Now I have my Poppin' Pink stenciled background. That is all dry, and I'm going to just add these two together. Now I don't know I didn't know how this was going to look, and so when I added my elements onto this scalloped circle, I wasn't loving it. I thought that it just kind of looked too bright green in the background, and it needed something else. So I grabbed some white latte flock transfer sheets, and I die cut that same scalloped circle from the flock. And I'm going to use this at the bottom to kind of be like a little border of snow in my background. I thought at first I would cut it into a hill shape. I didn't really love it, so I ended up cutting it straight across. And I'm going to add this on to that Screamin' Green enamel transfer sheet scalloped square with some iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. This is my favorite and my go-to adhesive because it's going to hold on strong. Now I am gluing onto those enamel transfer sheets, which are slick, so it's going to take a second to dry and fully adhere, but once it does, it's going to stay strong. I'm using iCraft 3D foam squares to adhere that little fox onto the house, and then I will go ahead and use that iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive to add my fox onto the enamel scalloped circle. I have some Screamin' Green flock transfer sheets, and I'm just going to add some stripes to the background. I thought this needed something to ground that circle, so I cut 3 widths of that Screamin' Green flock. I didn't even measure, I just cut a super skinny, a medium, and then kind of a chunkier stripe. And I'm using my iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive just to adhere everything down. I stamped a sentiment from the 34th Street stamp set, and I am using some of those iCraft 3D foam squares along with the iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive to glue this down. Since it's a very textured background between the flock and the glitz and the enamel, that extra bit of glue gives me the assurance it's not going to go anywhere. And this is my finished card. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember that I will leave my Instagram account down in the link below so that you can head over to Instagram and participate in the hop. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you again very much for watching this video. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more from me, please hit that subscribe button that is on the screen now. And here are a few other videos that I thought you might enjoy.